All right, y'all. Thank you guys for your patience. Thank you, squad. We are on and popping. It is time for us to officially compare Uba versus Neuro. So let's do this thingy. I look crazy. Wow, for like a nanosecond. Okay, so first things first, we're going to do is we've got a project that we want to submit a proposal for. I'm just going to click on add to highlights. We'll come back to this step in a second. Okay, so here's our project. We went ahead and we grabbed all the information that we need here. And first things first, I'm going to do is click on Nero's button, the first button, and then we're going to paste project information. All right. So the next part is we're going to do the same thing with UMA, because as Maria said, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. We want to compare apples to apples. So we've done that with UMA. And now we're going to go ahead and grab the project in its entirety to UMA. And first and foremost, UMA is telling us about what's coming up. UMA has also written a sample proposal for us. Wow. Whereas if we look at this, what Nero did was say, okay, sure, let's dive into it. First, I'll need to analyze the project details. Can you share the project description? So, and then I'll break it down and craft a winning proposal. Whereas Uma, as you saw, said, thanks for sharing the project details. Oopsie daisy. Uma said, it sounds like you're looking for detailed and strategic approach to craft a compelling proposal. Well, I can't analyze the specific project details. Womp, womp. So immediately, Uma loses because she can't analyze the specific project details or access client data, but she can guide us through creating an effective proposal. And this is according to the parameters that have been given by Nero on Nero's prompt. Consider what might worry the client about the project: budget constraints, project delays, quality concerns. So these are the symptoms: vague project goals, lack of detailed feedback, or hesitation. The buyer type, determine whether they're analytical, amiable, expressive, or driver. Implicit biases, think about common biases in the industry: hesitation towards new tech, preference for proven methods. So this is not, there are way more buyer types in the world than simply analytical, amiable, expressive, or driver. There is also methodical. There is humanistic. So amiable, they do seek relationships, but there's also humanistic, which seek a human touch. There's also hybrids, analytical, methodical hybrids. We also have analytical, humanistic hybrids. We have economical buyers. There's tons of buyer types. And so just leveling it down to only these four is a bit of a letdown from Uma. Let's have a look at what Nero had to say after we gave all of that good information about the project. Okay. So we put in the same input that we gave Uma, and Nero went ahead and found a name. So let's then go down and see. We gave Uma same information. Let's see how Uma did. Thanks for sharing the project detail. Here's a breakdown based on what you've provided and a proposal draft to guide you. So Uma went ahead and analyzed fears and unknown symptoms, their buyer type, analytical or driven, given the need for legal and compliance. Let's compare that to what Nero says the buyer type is here: skeptical and methodical, prefers proven expertise, responds well to structure, step-by-step processes. So again, it's very, who do we listen to? Uma didn't give us an exact reason or explanation, just said likely analytical or driven or drive a buyer given their need for whatever service it is. So she doesn't actually look at the personality of the buyer type. All right. Uma says to give a brief compliance checklist. And so then we're going to say they value clear all of that, education. Okay. Uma didn't give us information about the niche, but Neuro did. Presuppositions and the quick win, detailed compliance checklist. Okay. So Uma and Neuro both agree on what to provide as a quick win, brief compliance checklist. So if that is the very first thing that comes to her mind, as someone who's done something called Tournament of the Minds, we're always told that the very first answer is usually the most obvious. So we're going to ask Neuro to do even better than this. But here's Neuro's proposal. Many clients fall into the trap of hiring legal advisors who overpromise and underdeliver. I've seen it too often. Programs left vulnerable because compliance frameworks don't hold up under scrutiny. The consequences, costly audits, legal challenges, and regulatory backlash. Okay, so now, navigating the labyrinth of Department of Education regulations doesn't have to feel like a solo expedition. It's just, I understand the anxiety of dealing with the complexities where clear outcomes seem distant, and that's precisely where your journey transforms. Airy fairy. So here's the good news. We don't need to go down that road. To help you confidently move forward, I'm offering a comprehensive audit of your current program's compliance risks, including a video breakdown of findings. Additionally, I'll create a title. I don't know Roman numerals. I learned them in school, but what is this? 9 compliance checklists for your team as a free first step. It's 9, right, guys? Those of you who can read analog clocks and read Roman numerals. Okay, nobody wants to chime in.
Yes,
I can't read.
9.
Thank you.
I'll create a Title 9 compliance list.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So let's see what Uma says here. She says, I specialize in cutting through the chaos with precision before committing. See firsthand the structure of my comprehensive, no strings attached. Okay. 2 different pathways, right? 2 different ways of going about it. Okay. So the next part that we always want to do when we talk to Neuro is to see if we can get something even better out of her. Because we actually don't mind this first draft. It's just a few parts we'd get rid of. So then we'd go in and give Neuro even more information. So I'm going to go ahead and give Uma the same information. And my name is, of course, going to put in my name. That is not my name. And then put in today's date. Okay. And then obviously we'll paste in some more of my information. And we're going to do the same thing this side. I'm telling you, this is not Neuro's week. So Uma's catching Neuro on as we said in the squad, on a bad week. And still somehow Neuro is doing her best. He's the little GPT that could. Okay, and then we're going to go in with my certs. So we just go down to highlights and grab what we've got. No. Okay. I'm going to grab this. And we're going to give the same information to Uma that we're about to give Neuro. And then portfolio, we're going to use the same highlights we put in. I got to work on my portfolio. I really do. I always say I'll work on it this weekend, and then this weekend never comes. I have to work on something else. Okay, so we've given it all the inputs, all the same inputs. Let's see what we get. Okay, so Uma says, I can't search the internet in real time or interpret what your name may signify without additional context. I can certainly help craft an empathetic and engaging proposal for your cover letter. Okay, so There we go. And let's see what Miss Neuro had to say. I don't want this. This sucks. This absolutely sucks. Many institutions unknowingly operate with compliance gaps. The JD and extensive experience in education law have successfully guided numerous educational programs. Well, that's just not true. For instance, in a recent project, I developed a compliance strategy that not only met all legal requirements. Okay. So I do want to add in some background information. Do we answer questions? No, we don't have any questions to answer. So I'm going to give both of them some context. I actually can use that in my highlights. I have some projects around education, but now I can't find it. Let's see. This is going to be you guys in the future. You're going to be on the struggle bus with me. Oh, that's good. Okay. Let me just use this. Okay. Okay, both Uma and good old-fashioned Nero have the same information. And I'm here to help you untangle the complex web of go away. Okay, so to be quite honest, I can see bits and pieces of where I would use Neuro and where I would use Uma. Have you ever felt like people treat legal compliance as just another checklist item? I've worked with organizations with poor frameworks. Nah. In a recent project for a tech startup, they built their marketing strategy from scratch while also handling their entire compliance infrastructure. Yes. I see your challenge as more than checking compliance. Okay. It's about safeguarding your, I hate this. I'll start with a targeted audit. Not bad. A free actionable Title IX checklist, a roadmap. Okay. This is so much better. So much better. Now let's see what Uma has to say. My journey with a tech startup earlier this year showcases the breadth of my skills. With 5-star ratings, I designed and executed a comprehensive go-to-market strategy. Not only did I craft effective marketing plans, both direct and digital, but I also ensured the team's legal compliance by drafting key documents. It was a hands-on experience from start to finish, proving that law and strategy go hand in hand. Okay, this was not bad. Having also studied constitutional law, I bring rich knowledge of legal frameworks, which enables me to assess programs with precision. For your project, I propose offering you a precise checklist. Now, that's exactly what Neuro was railing against. Okay, so I can see bits and pieces, but I like the entirety of this, starting here. Let me know if you'd like to discuss further. I'll keep it brief and actionable. We'll just say, let me know if you want to discuss further, and then we'll end it off. So that is essentially how I would do it if I was going to pit Uma versus Nero, but Uma is not terrible. This part here, I would use. I would 1000% use my journey. And then I would also, blocking out a few bits and pieces. It does read better. Yeah, I wouldn't do the stupid thing of introducing myself a second time because they can read my profile and they can obviously see my name. The only thing I would do is sign off with my name. And then I would not include this part here. So then with Neuro, it's pretty much the same story, but this is not bad at all. So how do we feel, squad? YouTube, feel free to chime in. How do you guys feel about what you just saw on the screen? Mandela says, yes, it's 9. Thank you, guys. Spisa Dubé says, hello. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for coming through. Karen was like, the way I waited last night, I thought it was the 3rd. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, guys. And welcome. Karen says, hey, everyone. Okay, guys, but how do we feel? Like, how do we feel so far about the Neuro slash UMA comparison? Squad, grab that mic.
Okay. No, go on.
Okay, so I think Bailey, you already know I have a poor opinion of Uma, but she performed way better than I thought it would be. It would, but yeah, that Neuro is the clear winner over here.
Neuro is the clear winner.
Also, as I mentioned, I feel like Uma was given a lot of how do I say inference from, like, how you've already taught Neuro how to analyze and everything. Like, I feel like if you don't have the basics from Neuro to put into Uma, you're going to get very, very basic stuff. So I think
wow,
so apples with apples, so that you can see, like, is it going to be the same? But if you think about the apple that we gave to Uma, it was actually based off Neuro. So if they don't have that, it's not going to be great. It's just going to give you basic, and we're not basic squad.
So what is your response to anybody who's a little bit confused about what is going on here? Can somebody explain what's going on? Spiso came in a little bit late, so he's a little bit confused. What are we doing?
I don't mind speaking unless someone else wants to go and y'all are tired of my voice. I really don't mind. So basically what we're doing in this session is we are comparing Uma, which is the AI from Upwork, versus Neuro, which is our NeuroBay, which Bailey wonderfully like designed, and what we've been using for our proposal sending. So essentially, what we did was obviously use the same prompt from Neuro to Uma, so we can compare apples and see if actually Uma can provide us with the same, or either the same or better outputs than Neuro. She hasn't done too badly, but I think she's still lagging behind Neuro because she doesn't quite have that thing, as South Africans would say, that thing. The je ne sais quoi is not quite there. But also to be fair, that Uma actually doesn't have we provided Uma with a lot of information in terms of prompting, which, like, that prompt engineering, which we automatically have with Neuro. But if you're a lay person who doesn't have access to Neuro, in order to prompt Uma accordingly, you're gonna be basic. My thoughts, but that's basically what we were doing.
Okay. Well, there it is, folks. Okay, so Ethan, can you let us know, should we end off the moment that we had with wonderful YouTube so that we can carry on with getting you all situated on Upwork, or would you prefer that in a one-on-one session instead?
Sorry, repeat that again. I didn't hear that.
My question was to Ethan, should we continue getting you settled on Upwork, or would you prefer we first not be live anymore on YouTube and then we can continue on?
Ethan, the floor is yours. Tell us.
But I haven't yet really optimized my profile. Um,
Mhm.
so, well, not really sure yet. Um, what do the other guys think? Should we continue here, finish off, and then maybe get on with me? Or
Absolutely. I think since it's your first rodeo, it would not be fair and it wouldn't be nice of me if I forced you to have to share your moment with the entire internet. So gonna have to stop here. Um, sorry, YouTube, but we are officially ending the stream here. But thank you all for coming through and sticking around with us and then seeing the competition between Nero and Uma. So goodbye, YouTube. We are carrying on in the squat though, however. All right, Ethan, I'm gonna switch off my share and then we're gonna continue. But
oh,
before I do, because Ethan is a new member of the squad, does anybody have any advice about like what is the first thing, if you could turn back time, what is the first thing that you would have done? Bongi, do you have advice?